A lot of y'all were asking me about the settings I use for my Canon SX740HS. So I'm gonna go over some of the configurations I use for the photos in my last post so that y'all can achieve that crisp look as well. So let's go. The first few tips I recommend is putting up your flash. Like, definitely make sure you do this in all your photos, no matter if it's bright, dark, outside. Always use your flash because it's gonna give it that digital kind of look. And then also make sure your dial is set to manual, because auto, I mean, it's decent, but if you want to achieve like the full capability of this camera, you're gonna have to go into manual and like learn the different settings so that you can achieve that good look. In terms of manual, I know it can be kind of intimidating at first trying to learn all the different settings, but you see these 4 things on the bottom. The first one is your shutter speed, and then the one with the F, that's gonna be your aperture, and then the kind of dial with the 1, 2, 3, that's your exposure, and then you have your ISO. ISO is not that big a deal if you just keep it on auto, but if you want to be like really particular with your photos, then you can go into the ISO setting through the app, and it kind of gives you, or not through the app, but you know what I'm saying, on the camera, and it kind of tells you like the different situations you would use the different ISOs for. So like, for instance, it says under cloudy skies for bright indoors you would use 400, but honestly you could probably just keep that on auto. It probably wouldn't make it that big of a difference. For shutter speed, you kind of control this based on how much light you want to come in. So it's this first, that's shutter speed right there. So if you want to bring in more light, you would turn it up so it's no longer a fraction. And if you want to bring in less light, you would turn it down so it becomes a smaller fraction. So basically, if you're in a brighter scene, you want to decrease that value, and if you're in a darker scene, you want to increase that value. The next setting is the aperture, the F one. This one kind of works the same as the shutter speed, but in this time you would go down to bring in more light, and then go up to bring in less light. So increase the value for less light, and then a lower value for more light. Like, I can show you right here. This is at the lowest value, 3.3, and if I increase it, it kind of like darkens. If I decrease it, brings in more light. So yeah, the next thing we have the exposure. So this basically means like the amount of light being exposed to the camera. So if you want to have more light come in, you want to turn it up, and then if you want to have less light come in, you want to turn it down. So I can show y'all